Hi guys, welcome to the video today, and today I want to talk about freshness. And are you fresh for your competing? What I mean by freshness, when you're actually fully recovered, you haven't got any of your training in your legs, you're fully kind of full to the tank with energy for the most important thing, which is the racing. And this is to understand that maybe risking undertraining, specifically that couple of weeks leading up to a competition, or at least a month leading up to the main competition, you want to taper more than you think, and you want to actually pull back your training more than you think to make sure that you are rejuvenated. And if you are rejuvenated and you've got refreshed for your racing, then it's more likely that you'll be able to be relaxed, you'll be energized, and it will feel good sprinting. And in my experience as an athletics coach, I train athletes between 15 and 19. And I train sprinters. And what I've noticed actually is when an athlete comes back from holiday, they may have been training consistently, and they come back from holiday, they're a different athlete. And they may have spent about a couple of weeks away. They may have spent a bit of time out injured, maybe some odd niggles and aches, and they've taken a couple of weeks off, and they come back to training. Different athlete, fresher, sharper, and the difference between when they were full in training and when they came back is night and day. It's that feeling that they were sharper and they were closer to people in the sprints than they were before they went on holiday. It's because I fully believe that they rejuvenated, and maybe they'd lost a little bit of fitness and sharpness, but maybe not, because they were just they're energized. They felt looser. They felt sharper, okay? I don't know, and we can only aim or look back at what they've been doing a couple of weeks before. In fact, that they pulled back their training, weren't training as much, and they came back that little bit sharper. And this is something that we don't understand, considering we can use this before our competitions. We can understand this before our competitions, and we've got to understand, we've probably got to take the risk of undertraining. And this is can you take the risk of undertraining? Because in my opinion, and this is probably rock solid, is the fact that as athletes, we're fitness addicted. We're addicted to fitness. We need to be able to do that to give ourselves, to have a comfort blanket. Fitness training is a comfort blanket. We need to make sure that we've left no stone unturned. And therefore, because we have this fitness addiction, we have to have that fitness to make us feel good. We overtrain. And we don't understand freshness. And we don't understand how recovery works. Even at the top echelons of track and field, sprinting, the professionals don't understand this as well. I believe even the professionals are going into racing overtrained, and they're not as fresh as they should be. As I've come across constantly, there happened with a couple of athletes that, in my opinion, the last couple of months, they've come back from holiday and did train there sharper. It seems to me that even then, they weren't training on holiday, they weren't doing anything, they were keeping active, they were enjoying themselves, they were relaxing, they were that's what they do. And when they come back, boom, is that extra bit of zip that they didn't have before they started. There's another athlete I want to do, but it's normally, my dad trains 400 meter athletes, 400 meter hurdles athletes, and this is more kind of relevant as well. If you're a 400 meter athlete, you must take a look at this, because this athlete that I'm talking about is he's a 400 meter hurdler, and I often activate him to actually make sure, using the Be Activated system, and activate him so he can feel relaxed and for performance as well. But he's a very good trainer, and he's kind of addicted to training a little bit as well, but he loves training. And he went away this, I think, just probably March time, between March and April, and he'd been training consistently up until he'd done a good winter's training, and training up until March time. And from March until April, for a month, he went away to New Zealand. And he didn't do much. He did loads of activities, as you do. He went away and did kayaking and different things like that, maybe hikes and all that kind of thing. He basically kept active throughout. And when he came back into training. And, that first, I can remember itself actually on the track when my dad was coaching him. It was the first track session. He was so sharp. And he reported back to me that he felt sharp as well. He felt energized, rejuvenated from his month away. And it was a month away. that complete month away in breaking up his training, and he felt rejuvenated. And the month later, after they'd come back, so he'd done a month's training back, he broke his PB by, I believe, 0.2, 0.5. And then 2 weeks later, he broke it again and brought probably just 0.2 or 3 off that as well. So mostly, most athletes, if they took a month off training, they'd be having babies. They'd be in so much anxiety, that month off away, whether it be injury or something like that, they consider that, oh my God, I've got taken 2 steps back. I'm going to lose more than I gained over that. I've lost all the fitness that I gained over the winter. If they took that month off, that anxiety would be wrought in their mind, and it probably is for you as well. And again, it's an indication of fitness addiction. If you feel that, if you've gone through months of training, probably 6-7 months of good solid training, and then you've got having babies about anxiety about taking a month off, that's fitness addiction. Okay, and this is understand that you've got to let go of that to make sure that you get to the highest level of performance. Hey guys, thanks very much for watching that video. Just a quick reminder to subscribe to my channel so you get more videos like this that are invaluable in helping you get faster times in the 100 meters, 200 meters or 400 meters. Also have a look in the description at my courses. There's my mini course, my starter program for relaxation for sprinters, and also my full program down there. Have a look at both those options. And also, if you actually sign up for my email newsletter, you get 20% off my big full relaxation program as well. So take a look at the options below, and thanks again. I just wanted to show you there's kind of real life experience and top level experience of using that freshness for actual performance levels. And it actually involves an athlete who did probably one of the most remarkable world records in recent memory, actually, which David Rudisha, who did it in 2012. And now it's obviously not a sprinter, it's not a 400 meter runner, but it's still relevant as it's an endurance person. If you may be a 400 meter runner and this is an endurance person, endurance event. So it's still relevant for whatever the case of just making sure you're still fresh. And it's a little bit of an article that I actually I'll pin below in the description from brother Colin O'Connell, who's the coach to David Rudisha. And there's an interesting article from Reuters on there, which again, the link below, and it talks about how he made sure basically that Rudisha was fresh for his world record in 2012 Olympics. And it's really interesting actually in terms of his philosophy that he's felt with specifically around Kenyan runners. And it says here, brother Colin McConnell, an Irish missionary who has coached the 800 meter world record holder since he was a teen, believes pushing runners to do more mileage or pound the track with greater intensity no longer works. Okay, so we're looking at specifically athletes that are kind of elite level, and pounding them more and more actually doesn't bring about any kind of greater returns in performance. It actually is the law of diminishing returns. And he's talked about the fact that how, you can read it yourself, about how the Kenyans didn't do well in the 2012 Olympics. They were expected to get 12 golds, they only won 2. And they generally felt there was a certain flatness to their running and stuff like that. And it's you're flailing in an area that's already close to 100%, and the runner is banging his head off the ceiling by doing more and more and more of the same thing. So you're getting to that ceiling of performance, of physical training, and trying to do more is not going to bring that relevant extra performance there. And he goes on to say, actually, what he did in terms of a holistic approach for David Rudisha, by the way, he's coached 25 world champions and 5 Olympic champions it says this article here. So, he's got consistency on there. And if you want a guide to improve, you must raise the ceiling. You must give him capacity to improve. So this is important because he starts to talk about a little more holistic approach and more relaxation techniques used with David Rudisha here. And he brought in a gymnast, which is interesting. He brought in a gymnast to help David Rudisha in other areas to probably be more athletic as well, but also bring that relaxed state to the David Rudisha as well. But the thing is, what's interesting, if you go down into the article, is what he did in terms of actually on the track. Very rarely, as it looks like, did very little track work, but he was concentrating on sessions that were more quality, high quality interval training and short and crisp, And he basically said, Rudisha said, in this quote at the bottom, Rudisha would say, you want me to do more and push even harder. And I would say, Colin Connell said, no, I want you to keep it, lock it in, don't let it out just like that. Keep it under wraps. And what that means is he didn't want to push Rudisha during that period of month. Now, this was the month before the Olympics. So this was right before the time when athletes would find it very difficult, but he wanted to keep everything inside. He wanted to keep Rudisha fresh, and so he can unleash it at the time, unleash his performance levels at a time when it's most needed, i.e. the Olympics. So he wanted to keep it in, lock it in, make sure, build up the capacity, and keep that freshness for the Olympics. And there we go, and he produced one of the most remarkable world records ever seen, because that world record, I was there at the time, and it was remarkable. No pacemaker for this. At the most important race, the final of the Olympic Games, he goes out. Do we understand recovery as athletes? That's the question I really want to get to. Really understand recovery. Do we understand what it takes, specifically in this day and age with all the social media and the stresses that we have in life? Do we understand what we need to do to recover fully? Because I believe, because of fitness addiction, we do not. We could get away with it years ago, 30 years ago, 20, 30 years ago, when the internet wasn't about, when the social media and the phones weren't about, when we were looking down and our posture wasn't ruined by looking down, and all this dysfunction going on, and this stress, this chronic stress that we have at the moment. We could get away with it because that wasn't around there back then, and we could train harder. Not now. We have to understand the other things that are putting stress on us. And do we understand at this present day, in 2023, what recovery is? I'm not so sure. And this is something that we've got to understand fitness addiction in athletes, understand what it takes to be fully recovered for our most important races. Do we really need to do much the week before a race? That's a big question as well. Bar those little sharpeners. Bar that session of maybe in the gym, the few lifts that are just going to activate that nervous system. I can take that. Once that's going to make you possibly lighter on the track, lighter lighter at the start of the race when you get in the blocks, that bit of sharpness. But it should only use that bare minimum that's going to keep you sharp. That's all it is that week leading up to the race. And also, do we understand how tapering works in terms of the month leading up to the most important race, the big championships? Do you understand that? Are you doing too much? Are you fresh for your most important race? And this is a question to ask. If you're not feeling, you need to feel fresh. You need to feel fresh. And probably because of that, the fitness addiction, you're going to have to take the risk of undertraining to do that, specifically the week before that race. So you're sharp, so you're energized, so you're rejuvenated, and your tank is full for the racing. This is what you do all the training for. You haven't lost. If you taper and take that week off or do the bare minimum that keeps you sharp during the week before that race, you haven't lost fitness. You've gained it. Recovery is so important. The training is there, but are you getting recovery to make that training work for you? And this is a big question that I want to ask you and want you to consider. And and what's your experience about this? Have you experienced it where you've taken a week off or 2 weeks? You may have had an injury or something like that. I have. I've taken, in my time, I've taken probably a month off from training because of an injury. Years back. I came back and broke a PB. Broke my PB. I was sharper. It happens. Have you got experience of that? Put the comments below. Have you got experience of actually that time when you didn't train as much, you came back and you ran faster than you should? Put it in the comments below. Maybe you disagree with me. Tell me why below in the comments below. But for now,